Hi, Shane's Brain here, and today I'm going to tell you a story from my youth about Christmastime mischief and how it quickly got out of hand. I do not endorse any of the shady activity that we engaged in that cold winter night so many years ago. This story is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent and the guilty. If you are new here, this is Shane's Brain, an interesting place where the contents of my brain are finally allowed to be experienced by the world. I post every Wednesday of every week, usually, so take a moment to subscribe and ring that bell. Christmas was nearing, and a thin blanket of snow had decorated the lawns and the rooftops of my relatively quiet neighborhood. I was at the age of opportunity. I had defined my daring instincts, perfected my snide remarks, and with my friends soared to the heights of stupidity. I was 13. When you're 13, you're as dumb as a rock. The night was quiet, the air invitingly cold, and the agenda empty. The conditions seemed to breathe excitement into our young bodies, urging us to leave the warmth of the fire and venture out into the streets. "We're just going to go take a walk around the block," we innocently told Randy's mother as we tromped out the door. But we knew better. Although we had no particular plans, the fact that Mark, David, Randy, and Colton and I were out together on a night like this ensured more than just a mere stroll around the block. We had only traveled a couple houses away when Mark introduced us to our entertainment for the evening. We could always count on Mark. This was the late 80s, and most everyone in our neighborhood had this kind of Christmas light that could be easily unscrewed and removed from the strand. We watched anxiously as Mark quietly crept along the side of the Andersons' house and unscrewed a couple of burnt-out Christmas lights. Within seconds, Mark released the bulbs into the crisp air. We were already cheering inside as the bulbs flew past us and slammed into the concrete. The simple popping sound that emerged from the collision was music to our ears. Instantly, our eyes began scanning the strands of bright, colorful lights that decorated nearly every home in close proximity. We were looking for that break in the pattern, that dark spot that revealed a burnt-out bulb. For to us, a burnt-out bulb was priceless because it was our link to rationalization. Nobody will miss this bulb. It's not doing anybody any good just sitting there burned out. It will have to be replaced anyway, we told ourselves. There was just one problem. The supply of burned out bulbs quickly became very scarce. Just as we thought our fun was coming to a close, Mark caught our attention once again. There he was in someone's yard, busily unscrewing perfectly good, working Christmas lights. We were appalled at his behavior. How could he do such a thing? Where were his morals? He had moved away from innocent fun and into a life of crime. And yet, he had bulbs to smash and we didn't. David and Colton were fast to see the rewards of the deed and quickly joined in his evil crusade. But and I did not give in. We were strong. We continued to look for burnt-out bulbs only. I spotted a dark bulb across the yard. I went over and I began to unscrew it. As I unscrewed the bulb, I watched as David easily unscrewed 3 lighted bulbs from the opposite strand. And in a rush of rebellion, I unscrewed a lighted bulb and darted from the scene.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I had been lured into a heartless charade of selfish desires, and soon anything that illuminated was our prey. We decided to round up some of our other friends to join in our rampage. We soon acquired Jesse, Clark, and Jack. As we were leaving Jack's house, Mark was ready for something more adventurous. He proposed that we all smash our lights on someone's doorstep and then run. By this point, we were past feeling and readily embraced his idea. We quietly approached the next doorstep available and unleashed our ammunition. Our light bulbs. The intensity shot like lightning through my veins as the almost worshipped sound leapt from the shattered glass. We sped away with excitement in every step. And as we ran, Mark began throwing his remaining bulbs like a madman. He let out a victory roar as his light bulbs smashed up against unsuspecting homes. We all assembled on the front lawn of Colton's house as it was just around the corner. We boasted of our accomplishments for the evening. Just then we heard a faint voice calling to us, and a figure coming toward us in the darkness. "It's Valerie!" someone shouted. Valerie was a girl in our neighborhood, and as we walked over to her, what we saw jolted us to a stop. It was not Valerie. It was Jack, held tightly by a large man, and our eyes soon focused on the long silver blade that was up against Jack's neck.
That's a knife.
The man warned us, "Stay where you are or this kid gets it." We all froze. When they reached us, he let Jack go, and Jack quickly found his way to the back of the crowd. "Why were you throwing things at my house?" the man demanded. "We didn't do anything," Mark protested. As soon as those words left Mark's mouth, a solid fist slammed him right in the chest, knocking him backwards into me. The man then made us all get down on our knees. Then he held the knife in the air and said, "This is your destiny. I'm going to come back in 5 minutes, and I better not find any of you around here." With that, he turned around and disappeared into the darkness. We all promptly said our goodbyes and went home. As I went inside, my parents inquired, "So what did you do tonight?" "Oh, we just walked around," I said, and I went to bed. Liar! Liar! A while later, my blood ran cold as I awakened to the sound of the phone ringing. I knew instantly who it was. It was Jack's parents, informing mine of what we were really up to that night. I prepared myself for the lecture of a lifetime as my dad hung up the phone. I indeed got that lecture, and the next morning I was escorted by my dad to all of the homes we had disturbed to apologize. Boy, had I learned my lesson. The man with the knife? Well, I never saw him again. I'm not sure where he came from or where he went, although every fugitive I saw in America's Most Wanted from then on did bear a mysterious resemblance. My friends and I were by no means totally reformed, but we never smashed people's Christmas lights again. A few years later, we did have some interesting experiences with some bottle rockets, but that's a different story. So there. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Take a moment to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Please take a moment to watch some of my other videos and have yourself a merry little Christmas. Don't smash Christmas lights.